Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Penny's Nook. Well, if you've been following me, you know that I have a reading nook where we read stories. I also have a number nook where we learn about numbers. That's right. Well, today we're starting a brand new nook. Do you have any ideas what it might be? I have a reading nook. I have a number nook. So what do you think my third nook would be? What do you think? We're going to learn about, guesses? I heard someone say it. We're going to learn about our ABCs. All right, so what do you think we should call this nook? Do you think we should call it Penny's ABC Nook? Or do you think we should call it Penny's Alphabet Nook? Think about that. I kind of like the sounds of Penny's Alphabet Nook. But you let me know what you think, okay? And we'll go from there. So for right now, we're going to start a brand new nook called Penny's Alphabet Nook. All right, and this kind of is along the same lines of our number nook where we concentrated on a number, but now we're going to concentrate on a letter. And just like with the numbers, being able to say the numbers and count and say your letters is a little different than being able to recognize the letters, okay? So when we're going to talk about the letters, I'm not going to talk about them in order. We're not going to learn them from A to Z, okay? Each week we'll pick a different letter at random, okay? And the first letter we're going to talk about today is the letter S. Now, throughout this, you will see some different images that I am using to concentrate on our letters. They are available at a site called HeidiSongs.com. And she has a set, and it's called the Letter of the Week Focus Wall Set. Now, this is for the grown-ups out there. If this is something you would be interested in, you can go to HeidiSongs.com. She has it available there for a purchase. It's not very much. I think it was like $5, but it has lots and lots of resources that come in very handy when you're talking about the ABCs, okay? So some of the pictures that I will be using come from that site, HeidiSongs.com, all right? So let's begin. You ready? All about the letter S. Now, when we're looking at the little pictures we have here, we see that there's really just one line that makes up the letter S, and it's kind of like a snake. So I want you to get your pointer. You can either use your finger, or if you had a little pointer like my brush that I use. We're going to start at the top, and we're going to follow that one line to make the S. You ready? Start at the top. It's like we're walking around a tree. Then we kind of slide down the hill, and we slide around another tree. A lot of people say it reminds them of how a snake would move. Snake. Okay, so that's an uppercase S. Then we have a lowercase s. Now sometimes the lowercase letter looks exactly like the uppercase letter, and sometimes they'll look different. For the letter S, the lowercase looks exactly like the uppercase. It's just one line, one continuous line. You start there, go around the tree, slide down the hill, circle around the tree, and whoop, you made it. It's almost like you're sleigh riding. Woo, away you go, okay? So there's our uppercase S and our lowercase s. Now we move on. We have what's called the letter formation, and that's kind of like what we were doing before. We were tracing the letter. Well, on this particular site, this Heidi Songs, she talks about when you're looking at a sentence line, and I'll go back here. When we're looking at lines like that, where you have a solid line, a dotted line, and then another solid line, it's kind of like sentence paper that you'll see when you get into the big school. And I use it at building blocks a lot. But anyway, when she's talking about it, she talks about this top line, if you can see, where she has the pretty blue sky, that's the sky. Then right here in the middle, where the dotted line is, that's where your fence is. Okay, then you have your fence. Then down at the bottom line, that's where your grass is at. That's where your grass is growing. Then beneath that bottom line, you have the dirt. Okay, and it makes perfect sense. You have the sky, the fence, the grass, and the dirt. And so when we're forming and writing our letters correctly on the sentence paper, we'll concentrate a lot, starting at the sky, going down to the fence, and down into the grass. Some letters that we're going to be making, some of it will go down in the dirt. But with the letter S, it does not. It stays right there between the two lines. Okay? And she had a cute little poem or a cute little saying for each one of the letters. For an S I make just a curvy little snake. Well, the capital is taller and the lowercase is smaller. For an S I make just a curvy little snake. And for the uppercase S, she starts at the sky and goes down to the grass. Then we have the lowercase s. For an S I make just a curvy little snake. Well, the capital is taller and the lowercase is smaller. For an S I make just a curvy little snake. And for the lowercase s, she starts at the fence and she goes from the fence down to the grass. Okay? So when you say that to yourself, it makes much more sense on when you're writing your letters. Okay? So uppercase starts in the sky. Oops, turn my paper. Down around we go. And then the lowercase starts at the fence and goes down to the grass. Now, does it go down into the dirt? Nope. Does it go up above the sky? Nope. It stays right between those lines. Okay? So now we're going to move on to the next page, and that's where we're going to practice writing those letters. Okay? And what letter were we talking about this week? The letter S. So I will go ahead and I will make one just so here we have them as reminders. Our uppercase S is just like a tall snake. You start at the sky and go down around and end in the grass. And the lowercase s, we started at the fence and you make the same as your big one, just smaller, and you land in the grass. Okay? Now, do you have to have sentence paper at home to do this activity with me? Absolutely not. You just need a piece of paper, okay? Just like with our numbers. We're going to write the letters. So while you, I'm going to wait for you while you go get your markers, your crayons or your pencils, whatever you want to use, and get you a sheet of paper. Now, if you want to use the sentence lines, it's real easy to make your own. Just take your piece of paper. Let me turn this one over right here. And make your skyline. Then make where the fence would go. It's a broken line. And then make the grass line. Okay? And then you have your own sentence line. But again, you don't have to. It's there and it's easy to make if you want to. All right? Let's get started. Oh, I think I'm going to start with the brown. So get your brown marker and we are going to make an uppercase S brown. Okay? And again, we start at the top, we go down to the fence, and end up down in the grass. All right, there's our uppercase S. Now, I'm just going to use one color for one letter, okay? What color should we use next? I believe I heard someone say purple, okay? So for the purple one, we're going to make the lowercase s. So we need to start, where do we start for the lowercase letter? Do you remember? Do we start in the sky or do we start at the fence? You're right, we start at the fence. So let's make our purple S. Down and around we go. And we end up in the grass. Good job. Okay. What color should we use next? I will pick. I'm going to say green. So get out your green marker, crayon or pencil, whatever you're using. Let's make an uppercase S. Ready? We'll start at the sky, down to the fence, circle around, and end up in the grass. Good job. Okay? You pick the next color. What is it going to be? It's going to be yellow. All right? And let's make a lowercase s yellow. We start at the fence. Sometimes yellow is hard to see, but it's there. Good job. All right, I choose next and I say red. Let's make an uppercase. I know I've already made it up there, but we're going to make it again. Start in the sky and make your S with your red marker. Okay, you pick the next color. I believe I heard someone say black. All right, what do you think is going to be next? We had uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase. You're right. Okay, let's make a lowercase s. So start at the fence. And there's your S. Good job. All right, I choose next, and I choose orange. All right, and you guessed it. You're right. We're going to make an uppercase S. Start at the top, down around, and in at the bottom. Good job. Okay, last color. I had 8 colors. What color did I not use? You're right. It was blue. Okay, and we're going to make a lowercase s. And you're starting at the fence. There you go. Good job. All right, you guys are so smart. I appreciate that. Let's move on. Let's find out what's next. Well, next, it's just like with our numbers. Instead of a number line, we have an ABC line. We have the alphabet line. And we need to know what letter comes before the letter S and what letter comes after the letter S. So, I need to find my pointer. All right, let's look. Do you see the S anywhere? Where is the S? Oh, you're right. It's right there. Okay, so let's see what letter comes before the S. So let's hop back a space. And what letter is that? You're right. That's the letter R. So right here before, let's put an R. And that's a tall stick, and then a half circle, and then a stick that's kind of like it's leaning. It's a diagonal line. An R. All right, and a lowercase r. All right. Now, what letter comes after the S? So there's our S. Let's see what letter comes after it. You're right, it's the letter T. Good job. So we'll put a T here. An uppercase T and a lowercase t. Good job. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to say our letters on and back from S. Just like we did with the number line, but we're going to use it with the alphabet. Okay, start at your S. So we have S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Good job. Okay, now we're going to say them backwards, and sometimes that can be a little difficult. So let's practice. You ready? Find the S again. Right, there's S. Now let's go backwards. R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Good job. That's harder than what you think, isn't it? Saying the alphabet backwards. It is. All right, let's go forward. So we've really concentrated on saying the letters and learning how to write the S. Now we need to see what sound does the S make. Do you have any ideas? Well, I have this little thing that I bought. Oh, I bought this years ago. And it was called Fridge Phonics. Fridge Phonics. Oh, I can't even speak correctly now. So it's just a little magnet, and we're going to stick our letter S in there, and when we push this S, we will find out the sound that it makes. So pay close attention. You ready?
S. S says. S says. Every letter makes a sound. S says.
Okay, so what sound does the S make? You're right. I heard someone say it correctly. S makes the S sound. Kind of like a snake, right? S. Good job. All right, so we know that the S makes the S sound. So the next thing we need to do is we need to think of some words that start with the S. Okay, let me make a big S there. S. Do you have any idea? Can you think of some words out there that start with the letter S? Well, we know one, snake. We talked about it a lot today, didn't we? Yes. Can you think of some other words that start with the letter S? Right, shoe. Shoe starts with the letter S. You're right. Good. Well, I have some pictures here next to show you if you need some help thinking of some words that begin with the letter S. We have, what's that? Scissors. You're right. Scissors. Spider. Snake. Swing. Star. And sun. Good job. Those were S words. How about if I write them on my piece of paper? You want me to write them right here for you? We'll spell them. Ready? What was the first picture? Scissors. So let's spell scissors. S-C-I-S-S-O-R-S. Scissors. Okay, what was the next picture? Spider. Right. S-P-I-D-E-R. Spider. You can see that they start with the S. What's next? You're right, a snake. Okay, let's spell snake. S-N-A-K-E. Snake. Next we have a swing. You're right. S-W-I-N-G. Swing. Then we had what? You're right, we had the star. S-T-A-R. Let me underline my S where you can see there you start. And the last one was what? The sun. You're right. S-U-N. Sun. All right, so there I gave you 6 words that start with the letter S, that make that S sound, all right? So I want you to think of some more words. And if you'd like, you can comment on our Facebook page. Tell me some more words that begin with the letter S, and I will see them, okay? Well, so we know the sound, we can say our letters. We was learning how to write the letters, talking about the letter formation, how we can correctly make them. Well, that was all of that today. But I'm not finished. I have a game that you guys can make at home very easily with, I bet, stuff that you guys might already have at your house, okay? So for this game, you're going to need some little paper plates and clothespins. That's all you're going to need for this game, okay? So you need do you know how many letters of the alphabet there are? Did anybody ever count? Do you know? Okay, well, let's go back and find out real quick, okay? We need to know these things. These are important things, aren't they? Let's count and see how many letters of the alphabet there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Whew! There are 26 letters in our alphabet. You will need 26 paper plates for this activity and a whole bunch of clothespins, okay? Now, the clothespins I used were plastic colored clothespins. You can see I have a whole box of them. Whatever kind of clothespins you want to use, you might, like I said, you probably already have these things at your house, okay? Then you're going to take the plate and you're going to draw a circle in the middle of your plate. Now, it might take you a little while to make the game at first, but then once you have it, you can play this game for hours and have so much fun with them. So what you're going to do, because I do not draw a circle well, I traced 26 circles on the plates. So you put a circle in the middle of your plate, okay? Then you pick the letter of the alphabet, one of the letters, and like I said, this one, I had the letter S. So you're going to put the letter in the middle of it. Then you're going to just start dividing your plate. It almost reminds me of a sunshine, okay? But you just make the lines. And I'm all the time doing things in halves, so it's kind of like I kind of cut the plate in half there, and I made a line in the middle, and then lines there. Okay, then you're going to look at those, and you're going to find the middle between that, and draw a line up. Do the same thing here. Find the middle, there, and there. And you go all the way around. It's almost kind of reminds me of a sunshine, but it also kind of looks like a pie, and the slices that you cut out of a pie. Now once you have that, then you're going to take the letters of the alphabet, and you're just going to write random letters around the plate. You want to make sure that you include at least one of the uppercase letters and one of the lowercase letters, okay? Then you're going to take your plate and you're going to hold it to where you're looking at the S and the lowercase s, okay? Then we're going to turn our plate around, and every time we see the letter S, whether it be the uppercase or lowercase, you take a clothespin and you clip it on. So we start here, we're looking at it correctly. It's in the right, standing up the right way. Okay, so right there. You're right there was an S, okay? Is that an S? No, we're not going to put a clothespin there. What about that one? Nope, that's a Y. We had an L, and then an E. Oh, right there, we have a lowercase s, okay? So then I would take another clothespin and I would clip it on there. Then we had an A and a P. Okay, so this plate had 2 on it. All right, I'll do one more with you. And using the clothespins, you have to use your pinchers, or how we are learning to write with a pencil correctly. Well, working with clothespins is going to help you learn to get the muscles built up there in your fingers to help you learn how to hold your pencil. Okay, so this one, do you know what this letter is? This is the letter B. You're right. So we're going to turn the plate and we're going to look for uppercase or lowercase b's. Right there I have an F, and I had an H. Okay, there I have, you're right, I have a lowercase b. So I got a clothespin, I pinch it open and put it on my plate. Okay, let's keep going. We have an N, right? Z. What do we have next? Oh, right there, it's an uppercase B. You're right. So I need a clothespin. Clip it on there. Okay. Then I have an S. And what was it? An uppercase B. You're right. Good job. You guys are so smart. So with just some simple things that you already have at your house, I bet, paper plates and clothespins, you can make an ABC game where you are learning to identify the uppercase and lowercase letters that match the center. Now, I can tell you another way you can do this if you don't have paper plates at your house. Get out your colored paper, draw a great big circle or trace the circle. Trace maybe your mom or dad would have a dinner plate. You could trace around the dinner plate on a sheet of paper, cut it out, and do the same thing as this. Make your letter in the middle, get your little pieces that go like your pie pieces that go around, and put your letters inside. Okay? Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned a little bit about the letter S and how to make the S and the sound that it makes. And I hope you do this alphabet game that I made. Very easy. And you can have lots of fun on a rainy day or any day of the week, right? Right. Well, this is our first edition of Penny's Alphabet Nook. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week with a new letter. Bye-bye. Mwah.